Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of SAT Sports with yours truly, Marcus, where we got a lot to talk about. But first, let me introduce you my guest for today. He's one of our co-hosts of the World Elite Podcast, and I lost count when was the last time he was on here. But welcome back, Dylan. How you doing?
Doing good, man. It's been, oof. I think it's been a while since I've been on, so it feels good to be
I've
back. And yeah, man, it feels good to be back, and I hope you're doing well.
That's been good. That's definitely. I think it had to have been during football season the last time you came back on. Had to have been around
Mhm.
that time. I'd have to go back and look. You could kind of say we're on a two-parted thing when it comes to drafts because we're doing somewhat of an NFL mock draft today. It's one of our topics, and then tomorrow night you tune into our other show, the World Elite Podcast. We're going to do a WWE mock draft with the WWE draft coming up on that wrestling side, but I I'm not. I didn't do no full draft. I was sort of working on it, but then I was like, you know what? That would take freaking forever with all the other shit I want to talk about. So I was like, I kind of just did it my way, where I just went by certain big names, especially the ones you saw on the thumbnail, plus the 12 LSU players that declared the NFL draft, whether if they get drafted or not. So I'll kind of start with the so-called $1 million question. I don't even know if you want to call it a $1 million question because they said the same thing when it came to the WNBA draft, and we knew that outcome. But do the Chicago Bears get Caleb Williams #1 overall?
Yeah, I think this was all addressed once they traded Justin Fields to Pittsburgh. I think the whole question of is it going to be Caleb? Is it going to be Justin Fields going into this season? And I think that question was easily answered the moment they traded Justin Fields. I think Caleb Williams is locked in at #1. I just hope they made the right decision. 'Cause I know a lot of Bears fans, some were upset that Justin Fields is gone. Some are excited for the future, but I think they gave up on him too quickly. And that's just me. So hopefully they didn't give up on him too quickly, but they're going to regret it if that does happen. And for one, Russell Wilson's the starter, obviously, in Pittsburgh. So it's going to take some time to regret their decision to trade him. But I think Caleb's going to have a good future in Chicago. I know he has a decent offense so I think he's going to do pretty good his rookie season.
Yeah, and then now the next question is the second pick, which goes to the Washington Commanders. It's kind of been back and forth. Some people think it's this guy, some people think it might be this guy. I think the two main targets that could be this pick, does Drake May go to the Commanders, or does Jaden Daniels, or maybe another quarterback? But it's mainly they think it's going to be out of them two.
Yeah, I think your top two options is obviously Drake May or Jay Daniels. And I seen a mock draft earlier today, and I think it was possibly the worst mock draft I ever seen. And they put JJ McCarthy #2 to Washington over Drake May, over the Heisman winner Jaden Daniels. But I think if you're gonna choose out of anyone, and even including that terrible mock draft with JJ McCarthy, I think you go Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden, with the offense he had Malik Neighbors, he had Brian Thomas, he had a great offense with him. And that's not saying Washington's offense is bad because they have a decent offense. It's just they weren't given really much to work with at the quarterback position. So I think if you bring in Jaden, I think obviously day one he's the starter. And I think he comes to that Washington offense. And I think he changes things up right there. They already got a new head coach over there. I just think that good things are in store for Washington if they go Jaden Daniels. Now, if they go Drake May, I think they'll still be okay. But I think Jaden is the top option right there for that #2 pick.
Look, I'm just gonna be realistic here. I don't want fucking Jake Daniels with that fucking team. I'm sorry. I hate that name. I hate those uniforms. I
Mhm,
can't. And especially with a team that can't even keep a damn name. You changed your name three
mhm.
times in the last 5 years, which I think I've asked you this question. I've said it many times. It ain't no one is why go back to the Redskins. There ain't nobody in this world that is offended by that name except white people.
Well, I've got history on it now being married to a Native American. She's given me more kind of like her take on it. And for her to say that it is offensive to natives, then obviously I'm gonna side with her and say that I wasn't a fan of the name before I was with her, and I'm still not a fan of it now. So it's anything, they should have kept it a Washington football team before they changed it to the Commanders.
Because I thought I've asked you that a while back. I was like, did you ever ask Cheyenne or any of your in-laws if they liked that name or disliked it? Because I got friends who are Native American, and that was their team. They loved it because that was the name. Or they were Chiefs fans. Like anything that involved Indians, that was their team. Like I know a guy, he's fully proud to be Native American. But he's not a Redskins fan. He's a Chiefs fan. He loves the Braves. He loves the Blackhawks. He loves Golden State, which a name like Warrior, that could be anything. That could be an Indian. That could be a Spartan. That's just like, there's another fucking name. Oh, that's kind of like a Raider. Like a Raider ain't just a pirate. A Raider can be an outlaw. It could be an Indian, or could, there's like 3 different types of Raiders or a pirate.
Yeah, because I've since learning about all these new things like the Redskins name, even as much as the Chiefs doing like the tomahawk chop, she said even that right there, even something little like that, it could be looked at as offensive. So hey, that's just me just hearing stuff from her side. And obviously, like I said, I've been married to her for a while, so I'm a side with her no matter
what. About those other names they use, like the Braves or the Chiefs or the Chippewas or the Blackhawks?
I've asked her about stuff like that, and she didn't give me any insight on that. It's just,
or what about Apollos or Apaches?
I never asked her about that. She's watching, I think, right now. She told me to send her the link to the YouTube, so she could watch. So I'm not sure if she'll comment her things on that.
I know high schools that got those, like, especially like up north. I know there's one high school, they're called, I think it's Glenbrook. They're the Apaches, and their mascot is an Indian. Like the logo is like, I think it's the fucking Alabama A, but it's got like an Indian head on the side.
Right.
Now what about Seminoles? Like Florida State?
Still, she really didn't give me nothing on that. The only thing she really gave me her insight info on was the Redskins name, the tomahawk chop, and luckily when the Cleveland Indians changed that godforsaken logo with the red face, I think that it's highly offensive as well.
Yeah, I remember the cartoon logo where it's like the Indian head with the feathers smiling. Didn't it have a thumbs up? Like I swore it had a thumb up. That was so it was so nostalgia episode. Everyone thought that was the best logo ever too.
Let me
besides the bold C, he looked like he had a thumbs up, or unless he was holding a bat in his hand. I swore he either had something in his hand or a thumb up. But while you look that up,
no, I know all he had is like the red face and like the feather in the back. There's no hand, no thumb, no nothing.
And he's just smiling.
Yeah, that's all he's doing is smiling. But the red face, I mean, obviously, I think that's pretty offensive.
Anyhow, let's move on. Well, thank God I said we're doing a mock draft, because after what happened earlier today, I might have to change something on my mock draft, because I had the Broncos drafting a quarterback. Before now, they just picked up Zach Wilson. So the memes are already being made since the Broncos just released new uniforms, which I liked those navy ones with the white helmets. They said, oh, his uniform has been dropped, and it had MILF Hunter across the back of his jersey. So out of him and Jared Stidham and Ben DiNucci, who would be the starting quarterback now for the Broncos?
Probably Zach Wilson. I think the experience alone, I think you have to go with Zach Wilson, because Jared Stidham or Ben DiNucci, I don't think you go with any of those. So I think the obvious option would be Zach. I know they swapped like a late round pick, so they're not really losing a ton if it doesn't work out. It's not like you traded like a first or a second for him, so it's not a huge loss if he sucks.
Well, I'm gonna jump the gun and said before Zach Wilson got traded, I had JJ McCarthy getting drafted to the Broncos.
Yeah. Looking at it now, since they got Zach Wilson, do they still play the quarterback field and go? Because I think if they do, then I would do Drake May over JJ McCarthy. But if they decide, hey, Zach Wilson's our guy, I think maybe a name like Marvin Harrison Jr. They just lost Jerry Judy to the Browns, so I think if you want to start fresh at wide receiver, I believe that Cortland Sutton's still there. So I think if you want to pair somebody with Cortland Sutton, I think you got to go these young receivers. I would even maybe look at Malik Neighbors. I know that Marvin Harrison Jr. because of the name, obviously, your dad's Marvin Harrison, one of the greatest wide receivers, then you obviously would go him. But looking stats, Malik had a better year last year with the Heisman winner Jaden Daniels. But I think if you want to go the receiver route, you go Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair him with Cortland Sutton to go into this Broncos offense.
Yeah, because also I had Jaden going to New England just for Freddie's sake. Freddie wants him so bad. I even know Patriot fans who hate LSU, but they want Jay Daniels as their QB. So since he's getting love from Bama fans that are Patriot fans, I'm like, okay, I see this. I hope for your sake. I'd rather him with Belichick. I'd rather him in a Patriot uniform than a damn Commander's uniform. Like, that's just me. Sorry, Logan. I know Logan wants him at Washington so bad just so he can have a chance to beat the Cowboys twice, but come on. Even Abraham Lincoln quoted the Dallas Cowboys suck. Let's see. So I had Marvin Harrison going to the Cardinals as the 4th overall pick. And then I had Malik Neighbors to the Chargers to go play with Harbaugh.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. They already got Kyler over there. They're not going quarterback. So if they decide, Drake May to Denver, if they're not high on Zach Wilson, obviously he's not coming in to learn from any of them, because if I'm a draft Drake May, I'm not sitting him behind Zach Wilson or Jarrett Stidham or even Ben DiNucci. So I think if the Cardinals go either between Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors, I think, like you said, the Chargers do the other thing and they go with one of the other receivers. So I could really see that happening. I could see, Marvin Harrison going to the Cardinals and then Malik going to the Chargers, because that wide receiver room in Los Angeles is god awful. So you have to get a receiver right there.
Yeah, somebody for Justin Herbert to throw to, and then they give me a reason to even want to root for the Chargers besides my sister's obsession with Justin Herbert. The Giants, which they don't know if they're going to draft a wide receiver first or a quarterback. That's another team I was worried about Jaden Daniels going to. I'd rather them take a wide receiver, so I put probably maybe the 3rd best. I put Rome Odunze from Washington to go to the Giants.
Yeah, I could also see that as well. Yeah.
Tennessee need offensive linemen so bad, so I put probably one of their top. I put Joe Alda of Notre Dame going to the Titans.
Yeah, they're in desperate need of offensive line, so I 100% agree with that as well.
Okay, so despite how much I hate the Falcons, I was trying to keep LSU players away from this. But if I could read our buddy's mind, if he's watching, Joe Carlino, I think you guys need an edge player more. So why not get? I can't pronounce his name, but that guy from UCLA. What is it? Laiatu Latu?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the Bears get 2 picks in the 1st round. I didn't do trades because you never know. Trades can come out of left field, but I've seen mock drafts where they think, oh, this team's going to trade for this. So I do have the Bears picking up a wide receiver. I was looking at the list, and I thought, okay, you're going to get Caleb Williams out of USC. Why don't you spice it up a bit? I put Adonai Mitchell from Texas going to the Bears as a wide receiver.
I'm not so sure about receiver. I think they're pretty okay on offense right now. I'm thinking more of the defensive lineman side, and I went with Byron Murphy the 2nd from Texas. I think he can boost that defensive line and really create that pass rush that they could use.
Yeah. So I was the Jets. I don't know how that team's going to go, but I had to put one of the best tight ends to go to the Jets. So I put Brock Bowers from Georgia going to the Jets.
Yeah, that
Um,
dude's gonna be a steal. Brock Bowers is unbelievable. Playing with Georgia, he's he's gonna be one of the best, if not the best tight ends out of this draft class by far, and he's gonna tear it up with a hopeful, healthy Aaron Rodgers. Let's just hope he doesn't tear his ACL a few plays into the season, and I think him and Brock Bowers are gonna tear it up.
yeah. So for the Vikings, I'm not naming. I don't have for every team yet, so I'm just putting what I have down so far. The Vikings, they needed a defensive back, so I was looking, and I just put Terry and Arnold from Alabama to go to Minnesota.
I think that the Vikings need quarterback. Uh, Something tells me they're going to go quarterback on this one. And, we already brought up guys already picked in our drafts, like obviously Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, Drake May, all that. But if you're looking at, next best, I don't think they should go that high, but, maybe a Bo Nix or Michael Penix, one of them.
Well, see, I had Michael Penix Jr. going to the Raiders. Bo
Hmm.
Nix, I was going to have him go second round, possibly to the Giants. But you know what? Now that the Vikings need a quarterback, I could see them drafting maybe him. But something tells me I might see him maybe like the Giants or something. I don't know. So if not the Giants, then I'll say the Vikings.
Hmm.
I will say
Yeah.
this for a fact. I see what the Saints really need out of the draft. They need an offensive tackle. They need an edge. They need a receiver, a defensive lineman, a tight end, a defensive back, and possibly a quarterback. They're probably going to draft late in the freaking in the draft. So
Need
I
everything.
put, even though I had Joe out going to from Notre Dame going to the Titans, I put Talise Fuaga from Oregon State going to the Saints.
Someone I would love to see going to the Saints. Like you just mentioned, Saints need everything at this point. It's an ugly look for this team, and if you think the Saints have a possibility of reaching the postseason, I think you're out of your damn mind. And this is coming from a diehard every Sunday. If we're winning, I'm tweeting that we're going to the Super Bowl. If we're losing, I want the whole team canned right there. Uh, we need a lot right now. And Cam Jordan's not getting any younger. He's reaching that end of his career. I think he just attended that thing for people looking to get into announcing once their career is up, and I think that it's going to be coming to an end soon. And I think we need some sort of rush. And Cam Jordan has shown, like I said, he is not getting any younger. So if you're going to get someone on off that edge, I think I would love to get Dallas Turner. He
Mhm.
is a fantastic player. So bringing Dallas Turner to the black and gold would be phenomenal. So if he's there, I would love to get him.
Main thing too is like how good the Texans offense are supposed to look now that they picked up Joe Mixon during the offseason. They're mainly going to focus on defensive guys, but they are eligibility going to be drafting a wide receiver later in the draft or possibly an edge receiver. But I will say for the Texans, if you're going to go defensive line in the first round, I found the perfect guy for him. And Freddie's going to love this. I think the Texans got to get Chris Jenkins from Michigan.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I think so.
And I'm calling it now since I already said I'm going to look at the LSU guys now. I said Malik to the Chargers, Jaden Daniels to the Patriots, Brian Thomas Jr. to the Texans.
Hmm. I think Brian Thomas could help out a team like, I don't know, maybe the Bills. The Bills lost Gabe Davis. They lost Stephon Diggs. If you're gonna bring somebody in there to really help that receiving room, I think Brian Thomas could do the trick.
By the way, I have Brian Thomas going in the second round, by the way. I only have Jaden and Malik in the first round. Brian Thomas in the second round. Everybody else will be third round or seventh round. But yeah, Brian Thomas, I could see him with the
Mm.
Texans. Makai Wingo, defensive lineman, I could see him with like maybe the Jags.
Yeah, I could see that.
Uh, let's see here. Mason Smith, I see him with like the Broncos.
Uh, I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like I said, I just randomly picked team guys for different teams, like Jordan Jefferson, not the quarterback. It's so crazy we had a second Jordan Jefferson. I see him going to the Raiders. I don't know why. I just picture him in a Raider uniform.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Charles Turner the third. I mean, the Rams need a center. I mean, the Eagles do too, but I was like, I see him as a Ram. Maybe I'll put an Eagle as a backup, but I think they're going to probably want the best center they got. And I know he's not the best. The Eagles are going to probably hunt for the best center they can find.
Yeah, I think Charles Turner, being that center, and then the Eagles losing potentially one of the greatest centers of all time. I think an Eagles uniform could be in his future.
And I know, despite the Saints not wanting to get LSU players these days, I could see Andre Sam as a New Orleans Saint.
Yeah, the Saints could use any help that they could possibly get. So, yeah, I mean, I could see him there. I could even see a team like to the team that loves LSU players, and I see they go Carolina. I could see also getting some kind of needy help in their safety position going after Andre Sam.
Yeah, but I put the Panthers going after Ovio Hufo, defensive lineman. I see him possibly. Omar Spites, I put him going to the Jets. That Noah Kane, I put him going to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's running back. I feel like they could use that as well. So,
and then last but not least, I'm gonna feel sorry for him, but Seven Banks, I have him going to the Cowboys. Cowboys like to draft LSU players every so often.
They do. Yeah, they do.
I mean, that's all I've did so far with my mock draft. That's how. I mean, we're already 22 minutes in. I think that's the perfect time to talk about a mock draft because, like, there's some teams. Like I said, this mock draft I'm looking at, I'm going back to the third pick. The Patriots were supposed to have a third, but they think they were gonna trade it to the Broncos, and the Broncos were gonna get Jaden Daniels, and now that we ain't got to worry about that no more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just saw some names, and I'm like, oh man, like they one guy has the Seahawks drafting Dallas Turner from Alabama, or the Bengals drafting Byron Murphy from Texas. They have the Texans drafting Jerzon Newton, who's the number one defensive tackle in the draft out of Illinois.
Yeah.
Another one they were talking about, or guys like Graham Barton from Duke, they have him going to the Cowboys, or Nate Wiggins from Clemson going to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas City Chiefs. The only thing I see in a mock draft that this guy thinks that Lad McConkey out of Georgia would go to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it happening.
Yeah. The only probably one of the only players I may have left out that's a big name, that boy from Miami, I forgot his name.
Oh, yeah, I forgot his name too.
Baby, that's all I got on NFL mock draft and whatnot. And then when the draft's over, I'll do some type of episode where I'm at least going to recap the first round. I'm going to probably do what I did on my debut episode. I'm just going to recap the whole first round, and then I'm going to name all the Saints picks, every LSU player where they went to, or other big key names, like that Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. or JJ McCarthy and shit like that. Well, I'm going to do something like that. So I'll let you decide the next topic. We can talk. I don't know. If I bring up something like MLB or MLS, I'm just go by rankings and maybe do some type of prediction, or we can talk the Stanley Cup playoffs, the NBA playoffs, even though they just tipped off. I do have something that involves WNBA, but either way, or we can go straight to the UFL, because I'm going to close out with the Arena Football League coming back. So I'll let you decide what you want to talk about next here.
I mean, I'm more bigger on the soccer front, so I don't know if you want to bring up some MLS stuff. I know you finally started watching it again. We're going to a game next month, so uh, the MLS looked good this weekend. Obviously, not for our Dynamo. Getting that 1-0 loss to Austin at home, that sucked. But obviously, the big eyes are on Messi playing for Inter Miami. He came over to Miami and instantly changed the culture over there. They were dead last when he joined last season, and now they end this week number 1 in the Eastern Conference. So they're playing good. Their defense is questionable, but they can do some defense. But no, the offense absolutely spectacular. They're looking great. But Dynamo just got a trade from Nashville. Forgot his name. It's on my Instagram story. He's a forward, but the Dynamo can use a striker. Just hopefully they make some sort of move soon because they need a striker. And just got Hector Herrera back, so he should be
I
in
was
the
gonna
start
say,
lineup when we go.
and they picked up Mackenzie Gaines.
Yeah, him. Yeah, from Nashville. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
I was
I
able to
mean,
watch. I was glad I got to watch that game because at least the next 2 Saturdays I won't be watching any soccer because I'm gonna be at Voodoo games, which I got a lot of shit on the AFL I want to talk about. But
mm,
yeah, they lost to Austin FC, who only been a freaking program for like 5 years now, and they act like they're the hottest thing in Texas when Dynamo's the only team to win a championship, unlike FC Dallas or that Austin team.
yeah, and that's who Houston has this weekend. They go to Dallas, so we'll get an early preview of what we're gonna see when we go next month on the 18th in Houston. So Dallas not so hot right now, so I think that the Dynamo can go over there to play and hopefully win this time.
When I went pulled the table up, I was like, yeah, the 2 teams I predicted to be on top of the table is it Miami in the East because of Messi, and then of course the LA Galaxy is number 1, which Houston's now they dropped to 6 after that loss to Austin. There are teams that have shocked me that are this bad. Teams like the fucking Timbers, who had once a dynasty. Uh, the San Jose was another one that used to be as good. And Seattle really hit it down hard. I see why you left. Are you even still a fan of them, or you don't care for them no more?
Nah, I stopped watching them. I'm committed to the Dynamo.
So you're tired of the late Pacific time starts. That's how I feel with Vegas and hockey. It's like, thank God, I like Nashville a time or two. I got family that love them that been telling me, "I'll come join the Preds," or the original 6 of the Blackhawks, even though the Blackhawks ain't been shit since 2015. But
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know. So so there is a couple. There is one game actually. Wait, I clicked on the wrong date. I'm sorry. So this coming weekend, all the games but all the matchups but one are on Saturday. But they're not going to do a Sunday matchup. They're going to do one on Tuesday, April 30th. So yeah, Houston's going to Dallas. I think they can pull it off. I hope they win. I don't want a fucking tie, and I don't want another loss. Austin and LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy beats the crap out of them.
Uh, let's see. Yeah. I think LA wins. They're on the road at Austin. It doesn't matter. LA has been playing a lot better than last season. I kept up with them last season, and they were terrible. But something changed. Something changed, and they're looking good. They're top of the West, so yeah, I think they get to the.
Columbus and Montreal. Columbus, I think, are the defending champs. Columbus is like in the top
Mhm.
5, so I got Columbus winning that one. It's at home too.
Yeah, Columbus hasn't been playing their top football like they've been playing last season. Winning the MLS Cup, they beat LAFC, who were defending champions in the West at the time. But yeah, I think Montreal is playing absolutely atrocious. Gave Seattle their only win to a 5-0 loss to Seattle. And if you do that, then yeah, you're gonna get destroyed. So Columbus is gonna win, and they're at home too. So
If I did, if I did what we do with the NFL picks, if I could pick a toilet bowl of the week, I would go with DC United in Seattle, and
yeah, that's pretty rough.
but I would take DC at home.
Yeah, DC is gonna win. Seattle is obviously winless on the road. They only have one win on the season at home. That 5-0 win to Montreal, and DC is actually playing pretty decent this season. They have one of the top goal scorers of the season, so I could see DC just going to town on Seattle, and Seattle's going to be down two players with Alex Roldan and Jackson Reagan. They both went down on the red card, so they will miss the matchup, and that's going to be a huge hit to that Sounders offense.
I don't really talk wrestling on the show, but it looked like Sheamus lost all that weight in a week.
God damn. Yeah, I know
Like,
his yeah, he looked different.
and he don't come out in the briefs no more. He's back with his old wrestling trunks.
Nice.
That's what he must have did something. He must have got liposuction. Anyhow, Cincinnati, Colorado. I have this being a scoreless tie.
Well, Cincinnati, Supporter Shield winner from last season, most points in the MLS. I haven't been playing up to par either this season. A little questionable. They did get a late win in Atlanta last week, so I think they can pull off a late win against Colorado. Colorado's been surprising me also. They're looking good. Cincinnati at home, I'm not going against them.
Oh yeah, because I don't know. I think I put them in a damn tie last week and they lost.
Mm-hmm.
So New England, Miami, we know the outcome of that. Miami's probably gonna score so many goals. I can see this being like a 5-0 win for Miami.
Yeah, it's very rare that you see a road team in the MLS be favorites when it comes to betting odds, but New England is absolutely dead last in the Eastern Conference, and of course Messi and Miami come into town to New England. I think they get a win, and I think they win by at least 3 goals. I
So it's
think
the number one team in the East versus the team in last place in the East. Wow.
yeah, I
Wow.
believe that's what. New England is 1-6-1, and they're absolutely atrocious. So I think Miami just wipes the floor with them.
NYCFC in Charlotte. Charlotte's one of them young clubs. I mean, shout out to my cousin's boyfriend Brandon, who is originally from North Carolina. He's very passionate with all his teams in Charlotte. He's a diehard Panther. He's a diehard Hornet fan. He loves NASCAR in Charlotte, and plus he loves. Now there's no baseball team in North Carolina, but he's a Braves guy. But he loves going to Charlotte games. He sent me pictures all the time. He said they're not the best team, but he's very loyal to the city. But NYCFC, I can't wait to see that new soccer stadium across the street from Yankee Stadium. I've seen Freddie showed me pictures of like that freaking square intro they're gonna have where it's like an all jumbo screen. Looks cool as hell. But I got NYCFC winning big at home in the Bronx or wherever they at.
Yeah, I'm gonna take New York City FC as well. Charlotte had a disappointing game last week, and I don't think that they can come together to win on the road. So yeah, I think Charlotte loses.
Mm-hmm. Vancouver taking on the Red Bulls in New York. Give me the Whitecaps.
I'm gonna go to Red Bulls on this one. They've been a surprising team this season, and they're at home. Vancouver got a nice 2-0 win against a 2 red card Seattle Sounders last week. They're good on the road, and they're riding a high right now over that win. But the Red Bulls, like I said, they've been surprising, and I think they take the W.
It's 2 number 2 seeds going at it. So, Orlando and Toronto. I mean, Toronto could wipe the floor with them, but Orlando could be very surprising at home. But I'm gonna go with Toronto on this one.
Yeah, this one is not appealing whatsoever. Someone like Orlando made the playoffs last year. Very disappointing. Toronto's been a little more surprising. So I think, and crazy enough, I'm gonna have Toronto getting an upset victory on the road versus Orlando.
Philadelphia and Salt Lake. Something tells me if Salt Lake don't win this, I can see this going in a tie.
Yeah, Philadelphia is known to go to a draw. They're undefeated, but There's been a lot of draws for the Union, but Salt Lake coming off a nice victory last week. I could see them going to Philly and pulling off an upset, but I could see it being a draw. Philadelphia is known for draws. I'm going to go a draw with Salt Lake and Philly.
I'm also taking a draw in this next matchup. Chicago Fire taking on Atlanta United.
Yeah, Chicago got a surprising win when the Dynamo played them a few weeks ago at Soldier Field. But Atlanta's coming off and it was late loss at home versus Cincinnati. Now they're going the road all the way to Chicago. Someone like Atlanta does not perform well on the road, so I'm gonna go Chicago as well.
This next one, I got Sporting Kansas winning that one, 1-0. It'll probably be like it'll probably be like what we saw in the last matchup, like Austin scoring a damn goal with like 4 minutes left in the game. I could see them doing shit like that. Sporting Kansas scoring that goal with like just minutes left before it's over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Minnesota on this one. They have been fantastic this season. You know, I was able to scout them a little bit when they played a Dynamo, and they played fantastic. They played phenomenal last weekend, and I think they can ride this into next week at home, also against Sporting KC. So Sporting KC played good last weekend. Also, you know, they even had that great game at Arrowhead against Messi and Inter Miami. But I think Minnesota at home, that's not a team to lose often over there. So I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Nashville and the Quakers. Nashville's fan base is not that strong. I mean, they're not. I know they're not the Tennessee Titans or the Predators, but like they get what they can over there. But I'm gonna have to go with San Jose on the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a 2-2 draw. Nashville has been a little disappointing this season as well. They played great last season. I haven't been able to capitalize on that this season. San Jose haven't been great as well. So I think that Nashville goes up 2-1. San Jose ties it late, and they end in a 2-2 draw.
The last game on Saturday, we got LAFC taking on Portland. So, isn't LAFC is it Will Ferrell one of their owners?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
He's very active at their games, too. If they're at home, he's always there.
Okay, I'll take LAFC just because of Will Ferrell. Plus, the Timbers are not as good as what they were like 5 to 10 years ago.
Call me crazy. I'm going Portland. I'm going with the Timbers. LAFC has been one of the more disappointing teams of the season. You know, back-to-back Western Conference champions, the MLS Cup champions a couple seasons ago, and they just went into that loss with Columbus. But they have not been playing up to par this season. They've been very disappointing. They're kind of at a lower part on the Western Conference table. They're actually 7th, so not that bad behind Houston. But I'm going to go Portland with an upset victory in Los Angeles. They've been playing actually pretty okay this year.
Oh, there'll be one game on April 30th. It's Seattle again, but they're going to play the Union of Philly, but it's in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that game was actually postponed because of weather. They were playing and they couldn't even kick the ball like a few yards. It kept stopping in the puddles of rain. So they had to reschedule it to this day. I think Philadelphia obviously gets the victory. Seattle's a dumpster fire. I'm obviously shocked they haven't fired Brian Smetzer yet. He is losing this team. So I'm going to go Philly with the victory.
We'll go with Philly, too. I wonder if they play their games at Lincoln Financial Field, or do they have their own soccer stadium?
They got their own field.
Yeah. See, I haven't been talking a lot of Major League Baseball lately because the Astros suck. And the only thing I do want to bring up, Yankees coach getting freaking ejected, and he wasn't even the one talking shit. It was that fan. I laughed my ass off.
I saw that. And as a Red Sox fan, I love it.
But I get it. The umpires fucking suck. Like, they've been shitty the last couple of years.
Oh, they're horrible. Yeah.
Like, I'm just – but I haven't seen this team this freaking bad, I think, since, like, 2012. I think the last time I seen this team that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you look at the, like, rankings right now, like, in the American League, in the East, not this first time I'm seeing the Yankees not in first place since the season started. Baltimore's in first place. They got the Yankees in second. Then it's like Red Sox, Blue Jays, and then the Rays. In the Central, the Guardians are in first place. behind the Royals, then the Tigers and the Twins, and the White Sox are actually the worst team in the league overall, not the Astros. Astros, I checked last, were the third worst team. The AL West, it's back and forth right now with the Rangers and the Mariners. The Angels, then it's the A's, and then it's us. I can't believe the A's are actually got a better record than us, but I feel like it might be a different story if we go to Oakland, which, by the way, we talked about it. I said in the past, the A's are going to be moving to Sacramento for a couple seasons. They're not going to be officially going to Vegas until 2028. So they're going to play on a minor league part. So hopefully they play on a weekend. I do stay up to watch because it's always going to be a 9:30 start time every time the Astros go to Oakland. The National League, I can still believe it. Braves in first place with the Phillies, then the Mets and the Nationals, and the Marlins. Central is still the Brewers. But watch the Cubs. They're trying to sneak up in there. The Pirates at one time were in first, and now they're losing. Put Paul Skeens back on the mound if you want to win. Then you got the Cardinals, and then finally in the West, fucking Dodgers in first place behind the Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Giants, and the Rockies. Right now, the number one team overall is Cleveland, then the Braves. They got the Yankees fifth overall. And the Astros are now the fourth worst team in the league, not the third. They got the Marlins, the Rockies, and the White Sox below the Astros. You guys are about, I think, 12 or 13th right now. I didn't check. They're y'all somewhere in the middle in the rankings overall.
That's absolutely stunning. That is. I had no hope for the Red Sox coming into this season. So seeing them perform at a decent level, I'm not going to say high because it's not. I'm absolutely shocked.
Well, y'all got the Guardians the next couple days. We got a 3-game series with the Cubs in Chicago. Then we go to Mexico City for a 2-game series with the Rockies. I won't be able to watch Saturday because I'll be at the Voodoo game, but I'm going to watch it Sunday. I'm watching what I can of it. But so I'm hoping we get one fucking win. They got a lot of Mexicans that are – Astros is one of the top fan bases in Mexico. They might be the biggest fan base in baseball. I know the Rangers got a big fan base down there. The Padres got a big fan base in Mexico. But it's like they can't let those amigos down. I mean, I could see it going 1-1. I would love for a 2-0 streak. Some telling me they'll get one win and lose the second. So this weekend, y'all got the Red Sox. No, Red Sox got the Cubs in Chicago. How I predict is I go by how many series wins. Do you see a sweep, or do you think 2-1, 1-1, or 0-3 for your Red Sox?
I mean, I would love a sweep. I mean, we just swept the Pirates, but I mean, the Pirates are the Pirates. So, Cubs are a little bit better. I could see us maybe dropping one to them.
Let's see. I ain't gonna pick all of them here. I'm just looking at some. The Rangers are hosting the Reds. It's probably a sweep. They're playing it in Arlington, though.
Yeah,
it's at home. Yankees are at Milwaukee. The Yankees have been losing lately. It's been surprising me, but I think the Brewers might win it 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Yankees. I mean, I could see them, winning that series 2-1, possibly dropping one to the Brewers.
Yeah, that's probably the only ones I'm going to predict in Major League Baseball right now. So all the other ones are kind of lopsided. Like probably if I had to pick a toilet bowl series, I'd probably say the Rays and the White Sox. Rays would probably sweep them, but 12-12 team against a 3-18 team, and that's starting on Friday. I mean, the records are going to change by then. And I know they started the NBA playoffs Saturday. As of right now, Cavs, Timberwolves, Knicks, Nuggets, Thunder, Celtics, Clippers, and the Bucks all lead 1-0. But I want to get your take. Who wins these series? So Magic and the Cavs. Cavs are up 1-0. Who do you have winning by how many games?
I think there's a game on or two right now. Okay, the Cavs are up 2-0 now over the Magic.
I had the Cavs. I think I said the Cavs were going to sweep Orlando, or I had 5 games, but I don't remember how I said it. But
yeah, I think the Magic at least still won, so I got the Cavs in 5.
All right, Suns, Timberwolves. Timberwolves won game 1, 120-95. I had the Timberwolves winning the series because the Suns they choke every time they go to the postseason. I don't remember if I gave the Timberwolves 5 also. I don't remember. I wish I can go back to the episode and listen, but
Uh, I go Minnesota in 6.
yeah. Sixers, Knicks. Knicks won game one, 111, 104. I said this would go to about 6, maybe 7 games because it's a rivalry.
Yeah, the Knicks are winning right now, 85-78. So it could put him potentially up to nothing. So I got the Knicks and give me 5.
Lakers, Nuggets. Nuggets won game one, 114, 103. I said they're going to make it rigged where LeBron's got to play 7 games. They're not going to let him get swept in the first round. And shockingly, the Nuggets might take a 2-0 lead, but when they go to LA, that's when the rigging's going to start coming. But I said 7 games with the Nuggets.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets win in 5. I think they're too good of a team for the Lakers, and 6.5-point favorites tonight in Denver. I don't think that really changes much when they go to Los Angeles. Could be MVP again. Nikola Jokic. She's a
Is,
phenomenal basketball
is he
player.
back? Because remember, this is probably the first time I'm seeing the playoffs kick off with damn near all the biggest stars hurt.
I
Jokic
think
was
he was
hurt.
back. Yeah.
He's back. Okay, because next game, Heat Celtics. Celtics beat Heat 114-94, but he ain't got Jimmy Butler. I said the Celtics sweep them in 4 games. Plus, is it? No, I think Tatum played in the last game. They said somebody from Boston was out, but it wasn't Jason Tatum.
No, Tatum played.
But I said the Celtics in 4, but they won game 1, 114-94 in game 1.
Yeah, Celtics sweep them. The Heat they cannot match up with them.
Mavericks, Clippers. Clippers won game 1, 109-97. Isn't Luka Doncic out too? Like I know Kyrie Irving played. He ain't out. He played. And then somebody from the Clippers is out too. The Clippers still got
they were without Kawhi Leonard. And they still won. So I could see them possibly even sweeping them, maybe and winning at 5.
I had the Clippers in 6. My dad got Dallas in 7 games. But
Oh wow.
here's another one. Pacers, Bucks. Giannis is out. The Bucks won 109-94 against the Pacers, but I had the Bucks sweeping before I found out Giannis was out. So I don't even know if they're going to still sweep them or not. But I said 4 wins for the Bucks.
Yeah, I could see the Bucks in 5. They still got Damian Lillard. It's awesome to see him in the playoffs. Dude's killing it. So I got Bucks in 5.
And then finally, Pelicans Thunder. I stayed up. I passed out at halftime. When I woke up, I saw they lost by 2 points. But when I looked at the fucking stats of the game 1, that was a fucking hell of a game. Like they didn't get their ass whooped. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander fucking balled last night. Trey Murphy balled too. I'm gonna give my flowers to Jose Alvarado too. He played a hell of a game last night. CJ McCollum played good too. But this might be a fucking 7-game series.
I could definitely see it being 7 games. Pels played good. OKC was gifted a little bit of home cooking on those calls, towards the end. So, but I'm not one to complain. I'm just saying what I saw. But I could see potentially the Pels winning at 7. They're a good team. They don't have Zion. I don't even know if he'll be back for the season. So that's a huge loss right there as it is. But, you got other guys, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, guys like that, playing good. And if they can continue playing good, I could see this going 7 and the Pels winning it.
If they move to the Western Conference semifinals, I think we'll get Zion back by then. But I don't see Zion coming back in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Stanley Cup playoffs. Hurricanes beat the Islanders in game 1, 3-1. And the Bruins beat the Maple Leafs in game 1, 5-1. I had the Bruins sweeping the Maple Leafs in 4 games, and I think I picked the Hurricanes, in 6 games.
Yeah, as it stands, the Maple Leafs are on top right now, 3-2 over Boston. If they do hold out, there's only 2:24 left in the game. So if the Maple Leafs hold on, it'll be a 1-1 series. But the Bruins are the Bruins; they're good. I could see them winning. That could be the only game they drop tonight, so I could see them beating them after that. Now the Islanders are up on Carolina right now, 3-1,
3-1.
and on the road, which is weird because all the home teams won before. Now you're seeing 2 away teams going on the road, and now they're winning as well.
The
But the
funny thing
Hurricanes are
is,
too good.
now when we're looking at these, I'm having to go back to seeing the home teams at the bottom because when I look at MLS shit, the team on the top is the home team.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do it like that. They should have kept it traditional. That's the only sport where the top team's the home team. It's so fucking confusing.
Oh, it is. I know.
Then yesterday there were 4 more game ones. Canucks beat the Predators 4-2. I said the Canucks were going to sweep Nashville. It sucks. I feel sorry for Nashville to saying that. Panthers Lightning. That's a rivalry battle for Florida. That's going to go to 7 games. Even though the Panthers could sweep Tampa Bay, but I said it would go to 7. Panthers would win in 7. Capitals Rangers. Rangers took game 1 4-1. I said the Rangers were going to sweep the Capitals, and the Avalanche and the Jets. What a game that was. Jets won 7-6, but I took the Avalanche, I think, in 5 games.
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking at it now. The Rangers, I could see, winning. I think you could sweep them. Tampa and Florida, I think it goes the distance. I think it goes all the way, and possibly Florida Panthers winning it. Winnipeg, Colorado. Winnipeg, that was a good game. That was a really good game. But I mean, Colorado was really good, and Winnipeg, I'm not sure if they can keep that momentum up. So I'll go Colorado. I go Colorado possibly in 6 probably. And Vancouver, yeah, I could see them sweeping the Predators, which sucks, because our good buddy Battle, I see the pictures of the Preds games all the time, and
He's
I
a
wish for his
DJ.
sake. Yeah,
I figured you were gonna downgrade them because I think the Blackhawks and the Predators are some sort of a rival, but they're not the Blues. I know the Blues and the Battlehawks are a heated rival.
Yeah, the Blackhawks suck though, so I don't care about rivalries right now. We're terrible. So if I gotta credit him. I see all the pictures all the time, being a DJ and everything.
Oh,
so
I
really
love
cool.
that. Like and he does it for a minor league team too, so I'm happy for him. And he was the one that gave me the thumb, opened the door for me to let me come be on the Preds fan base whenever I don't watch Vegas. I don't want to stay up and watch Vegas. But speaking of them, they got Dallas, which I can't fucking believe the Dallas Stars are the number 1 team in the West. That's shocking to me. I'm worried about a potential upset, but I said I'm going to stick with Vegas. I don't have them winning back-to-back anymore, but I do have them upsetting Dallas in 7 games. Kings, Oilers, I think I took the Oilers in 5.
Yeah, I could see Vegas winning possibly in 6, Kings, Oilers, man, it shows how much hockey I don't watch, because if I predict this, I might do horrible on it. I could see Edmonton possibly winning. I don't know. Fuck it. 6, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Never thought I would be bringing up this league ever, but you could think one particular woman. But I might adopt the WNBA just to give score recaps and maybe predictions. But it's not just her. I mean, you can. I'm gonna say the Fantastic Four. I'm gonna say because of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Caitlin Cardoza, and even Cameron Brink is the reason why I might partially check out the WNBA, but you got to give I will give Caitlin Clark her flowers now. I did shit talk her a bit within the last year because ever since the national championship, when Angel Reese did the John Cena, you can't see me, and did the ringer point, they wanted to make it all about fucking race, and I was sticking up with Angel Reese all this time, and then I'm like, well, I'll give Caitlin her flowers when she wins a championship, but she didn't win back to back. Maybe this is. But I will give her flowers. She's bringing revenue. I never said she was an ugly woman. She looked good for the draft. She looked good when she did her photography in her now Indiana Fever uniform, which it's the highest selling uniform in all of sports right now, which is crazy. She's bringing revenue to this team. I think her salary like $500,000 or $600,000 a year. I thought she was supposed to get $2 million. And she was supposed to be the highest paid woman in all of sports.
Well, from endorsements, she's gonna make a ton. They're obviously doing the comparisons.
She already broke a record in merchandise, and I saw a joke because I've heard it on the radio, I've seen it on the internet. Like Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever jersey is sold out everywhere, from Fanatics into like maybe academies in Indiana or Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever. Well, someone made a joke saying, "Oh, the reason they're all sold out because you got these celebrities who probably never watched a women's basketball game in their life, and they threw in Tim McGraw, Cody Johnson, and Luke Combs, all wearing Caitlin Clark Fever jerseys."
Yeah, I mean, you could say that as well, but I mean, Caitlin Clark, as much of an LSU fan I am, and shit talking we did with a national championship, she is bringing eyes on to women's basketball, and I think if the people complain about the salaries between the number one pick in the NBA draft versus Caitlin Clark. And obviously, it's way different, but you got to blame the people who don't watch. If you don't watch, then you're not bringing in revenue for the league. So I think now with like you mentioned people like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, Cameron Brink, you mentioned girls like that. And I think they're going to change the game. They're going to change how people look at women's basketball. And I mean, the Indiana Fever announced that I think only two of their games are not televised. And I think that's going to bring eyes to that. People are going to watch Caitlin Clark. They watched her at Iowa. They're going to watch her. So I think this is going to be a big eye opener for people that watch this, and it's going to draw more revenue to the WNBA, and they're going to get paid a lot more. So I don't think the conversation of men's pay versus women's pay for this type of sport is going to be a conversation for that much longer because it's going to draw revenue. So I think it's a huge, huge game changer.
Yeah, and I think now, and like I said, I'm giving her respect now. Like I said, now I don't know. Tim McGraw might have an obsession with her. He did a concert in Iowa City wearing her Hawkeye jersey, and then like a month later, he performed in Indianapolis, and he was wearing her Fever jersey. So, where for the Elite Eight, I think he went to Albany, but he wore an LSU basketball jersey, and he said strictly business. I was like, no, you would say that if you were wearing Iowa. You're supposed to be, which nobody fucking likes Tim McGraw. He's not from real Louisiana. That's Delhi, Louisiana, or Columbia is South Arkansas to us down here. But I will give her flowers because even the commissioner and Kathy Engelbert saying that they were considering possibly expanding the WNBA. They were talking about bringing maybe a team like in Philadelphia, Toronto, Denver, Nashville, and even Miami. No. Put a team, bring back the greatest WNBA team in freaking history. Bring back the Houston Comets, the only team to win 4 fucking world titles in a row.
Yeah,
bring the Comets back.
Yeah.
Don't bring a fucking team in New Orleans. They'll just fucking put anybody on the team from New Orleans. Bring the Houston Comets back because like I never told anybody, but like when I first saw that team, you can thank Joanna Man. After I watched Joanna Man, I decided to check out the WNBA even as a young teenager. I didn't watch it every week. I just watched if Houston popped up because Houston was the fucking number one team in the WNBA and they won 4 in a row. So like if they were on TV, I'd watch it. I just never told anybody that. It was like another team in Houston I supported outside of the Astros and the Dynamo and UH and partially the Texans and whatnot. But yeah, if you could bring the Comets back, that would be fucking awesome. Like, because they say if you ever bring a team back, bring that team back if you decide to expand anywhere else. Is they were talking about they wanted to add 12 more teams. I think they got 12 already. They wanted to add 12 more. I was like, well, you need another city. Put Houston on the list.
Yeah. But no, you have to focus on making more money first before you add more teams because they're already kind of struggling before they're even the conversation of adding more teams. So focus on one issue first and then maybe worry about adding on.
I just wonder where do they get some of these names for mascots? Like I get like Indiana, for example, the Fever. You don't ever want the only what's so good about I run fever. A fever is something I don't want. When you're sick, like you want to cheer for a freaking ray of sickness in your body. How do you like I get some like the Dallas Wings or the LA Sparks, Minnesota Lynx, the New York Liberty, Phoenix Mercury, Las Vegas Aces, Washington Mystics, Atlanta Dream, Seattle Storm. The Sky, really? I'm gonna root for the Sky. Chicago Sky, like unless we're talking about skylining, I don't fucking know. Like I don't know where they come up with these damn mascots. Houston had the perfect one. Comets, because Houston's everything's Space City in Houston. The Rockets, the Astros, the Dynamo, the Comets. The only team is the Texans. That's just Texas space. Same thing with the Oilers when they were in Houston. But and it's crazy. They just had the draft, and their season tips off next Friday, May 3rd.
Man, they don't fuck around.
But they always play in the summer, though. Season starts in May, and I think it concludes in August. And guess what the first game of the season is? The Indiana Fever. But they're playing Dallas, the Dallas Wings. That's the first. That's going to kick off the season. I thought they would kick off with the defending champs and the Aces, but no, they don't do that. Like the NBA opens up with the defending champs, and the NFL does it too. Major League Baseball. But no, they're opening up with Caitlin Clark taking on Dallas. But mark your calendars, June 1st. It's the Fever versus the Sky. It's Caitlin Clark versus Camelia Cardoza and Angel Reese.
Yeah,
I will watch that. I've never been.
The two that
only
defeated
two
her
that ever beat Caitlin.
Yeah,
the only two that ever beat her national title. And I think it's hilarious how a month ago, Camelia and Angel Reese were talking shit to each other, and now they're best friends. Like they're BFFs.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, that is typical female shit. That is typical female shit. One week you hate the person, next week y'all are BFFs like y'all never fought in your life. Oh God. Speaking of oh God, the UFL. Okay. So recapping week 4. I haven't been watching it a lot. I'm just glad the Roughnecks finally got a win. They beat the Renegades 17-9. Dallas is the only winless team left in the league. Battlehawks beat the Showboats 32-17. The Stallions are still undefeated, but they struggle win with the Defenders 20-18. And the Brahmas beat the Panthers 19-9. But real quick, as I minimize this, let's have another edition of UFL by the numbers. So our first number is 1. Houston picked up their first win of the season. Your next big number is 9, which is the number of quarterback Quentin Dormati of the San Antonio Brahmas. Actually, no, I read that wrong. He completed passes to 9 different players. I should have read that part. All right. Your next number is 10, as Battlehawks wideout Shakur Pearson made an impact and caught 10 out of 10 completed passes. Perfect score. Your next number is 41. In Michigan wide receiver Marcus Sims, he hauled in a 41-yard score late in the Panthers' loss to San Antonio, marking his 3rd touchdown reception for at least 40 yards this season. But his longest was 76 yards. That's not the next number. The next number is 81. Spring football is known for close games, and so far, 81% of the games this season have been one-score games in the fourth quarter. Your next number is 100 for 2 reasons. Wide receivers Justin Smith and John Trey Kirkland of the Brahmas each went for over 100 receiving yards against Michigan this past Saturday. Also, 100 is 100% every week this season. There has been a game with a lead change in the final 5 seconds of regulation. And your final number for this week is 103. Running back Jacob Sailors went off for 103 yards in the Battlehawks 32-17 win over the Showboats. St. Louis now won 3 in a row, and the offense is averaging 30 points per game over that streak.
Right.
I like this little segment. I wish I could try this with other fucking shit, but shout out to Fox Sports for posting these numbers, and I say it in my terms, in my words, so I don't get fucking in trouble. But then again, I read shit on the internet a lot in paragraphs, so I ain't gonna get in trouble. I hope not.
Yeah.
Well, all right, so UFL this week. Have you been really watching? Do you watch the Defenders every week, or you watch what you can?
Honest to God, like this league has not been exciting me the way I thought it would be. Seems like even the Defenders don't get the attendance they did when it was the XFL. Now it's the UFL. I don't feel like it's bringing the same sort of excitement to Audi Field. They still have the beer snake, but even it doesn't seem exciting. Like they used to nearly pack out Audi Field, and it's hasn't even been that lately. Uh, I mean, look at Birmingham. I mean, yeah, I understand the weather delay they had, and even before the weather delay, the attendance was dog shit. So I don't even know why you even kept the team in Birmingham. I get the team
I'm,
was good, but
I'm
I don't know.
shocked. They actually can fill up their stadium. They're actually passionate for their fans. Another team I will acknowledge is the Battlehawks. Battlehawks fill up
Yes.
that dome. So that's why it's like I got a soft love for the Battlehawks. Even though I support the Roughnecks, I consider them my team. If I could have a backup, I'd say St. Louis. Even though they got AJ McCarron, a quarterback from Alabama, but I don't know. It's just I'm not big on that logo. I love their helmets, but it's that blue. I love that blue and that silver. All right, so Saturday, there's 2 games in Texas, same time, same network. So for our neck of the woods, we're probably going to catch the Roughnecks and the Stallions. But you got all 3 Texas teams are playing Saturday. You got the Brahmas and the Renegades in Arlington. San Antonio win this, or does Arlington finally get a win of the season?
I'm gonna go San Antonio.
Me too. Renegades suck, and I love it.
Yeah.
Glad Houston got a win because I don't. This might be the first time this season I'm picking against them. I got the Stallions on the road against the Roughnecks.
Yeah, Birmingham is great. You know, I was able
They're
to witness that against DC, and I think they pick up that
they're
4th
gonna
win.
they're gonna probably win another one. They're gonna probably win 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That's what it's looking like. All right, Sunday. This might be the game of the week. You got 2 rivals. You got the Battlehawks and the Defenders. Every time they play each other, it's chaotic. It's in DC. The Bear Snake's going to be Slytherin. I mean, fair game here. I'm definitely going to try and check this one out. I'm going to pick the Battlehawks because I like them. I know you're going to ride with your Defenders. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go DC.
And then finally, you got the Panthers and the Showboats. I love Michigan's kicker, Jack Bates. That dude can fucking kick. He needs to go to the NFL.
And he's turning down the NFL. That's the thing. He's gotten asked about the NFL. He's turned them down each time. So I guess he just likes being in the UFL. Which I mean, I would go to the NFL, but he's fantastic.
I'm going with the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Panthers also.
All right. One last segment before we close out. Are you ready for some arena football? Even though we're getting a little word right now, but at least I can't tell you the last time I went to an arena. Last time I went to an arena football game was 2011, but I haven't watched it on TV in I don't know how long.
I mean, I went to one game like I mentioned on World Elite in the past. We won tickets to the Arena Football League championship game that was being played at the Smoothie King Center, well, the New Orleans Arena at the time, and it was actually really cool. I forgot who was playing. I don't remember jack shit about that. It was a fun time though. It was a different style of football that I was able to witness. So, as excited as I am for it, it doesn't seem like a lot of the other people are excited for it. I know that Logan that came on this show before is a big advocate on bringing the voodoo back to New Orleans, and he thinks it could potentially happen if it doesn't succeed at the Blackham Coliseum. It didn't succeed in Lake Charles. They claimed it was a nightmare working in Lake Charles with the people who owned the Civic Center there.
Yeah, they were blaming it on the mayor, but it was MDA's fault. But you got to blame the league's fault. They didn't want to play their rent, but something told me they did not want to be in Lake Charles in the first place. That's why it seemed. I'm glad they're moved to Lafayette because it's the same range for me. Like just 5 extra miles. Like I'm literally 33 miles from Lake Charles right in here, but from Lafayette, I'm literally 38 miles. I'm close to 40 miles. Same distance. 40 minutes to get to Lafayette, about 30 minutes to get to Lake Charles. Maybe less with the speed I drive, maybe less, but
yeah, the main thing that worries me is the attendance. You know, I looked at just to see if people were buying before they moved to the Blackham Coliseum, and when I tell you the amount of blue dots I saw on that seating map was shocking. So I haven't checked lately if they even updated the venue to the Blackham Coliseum. They should. I mean, it's this weekend the game, so you would think they would update the venue. I haven't checked, so I don't know. So I don't know what the seating chart looks like. I don't know what anything looks like. If there's tickets bought,
They need to update
but
that. Like the
yeah.
game, they play in like what today's Monday, so 5 days until you kick
Mhm.
off, and you don't even have the website updated to go buy tickets at the Black Coliseum. I feel bad. I should have got the gear earlier, but now that they're moved, Outfitters Inc. in Lake Charles is no longer selling Voodoo gear, so I don't even know where you can buy gear at. I feel like I'm gonna have to wait till I go to the game alone. Like I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about finding a place to park, plus trying to get a good seat. Like I'm sure the ticket prices are gonna be the same, even though Blackham's a little bit smaller. First off, you should have did it in the Cajun Dome.
Mm.
Even if you don't sell it out, it would have still been better there. I feel like the only teams that I think are good, ain't got to worry about fan attendances and whatnot, is teams like the Minnesota Myth, which as of right now, I think they're the only team in the AFL to have alternating helmets. Everybody's either having black or white helmets. They got orange helmets as alternate helmets. Two other teams is the Orlando Predators. They always had a strong fan base, Freddie said. Albany is another team that's an original six that loves their team. Philadelphia, what the fuck happened to this team? They're playing their games in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like everybody else is something new. Like everyone's mad that they took the Storm franchise to Southwest Kansas and they took it out of Tampa. Now there's some of these teams that were like in other leagues. Like the Salina Liberty was a very good team in a whole other football league. The Billings Outlaws was another team, which Billings is a team in I think it's in Montana. Yeah, Rapid City's in South Dakota, but Billings is a team in a whole nother league that was good. But a team like Oregon and Washington, those are brand new teams. West Texas, they just changed the mascot. They used to be a different type of logo mascot, but now they're the Desert Hawks. They just brought 6 original teams back. Wichita, I think, is a brand new team also. But like the 6 originals they brought back was the Voodoo, the Soul, the Predators, the Cats, the Firebirds, and the Force. Everybody else is either brand new teams they just made or teams from like other indoor football leagues.
I guess we'll see how it goes.
And right now they have not revealed every team's uniform yet. They still have they didn't do the Voodoo yet. They didn't do the Rampage. Iowa, why the fucking Rampage? It should have been the Barnstormers.
Mm-hmm.
Your mascot is a gorilla, and you're the Rampage. Are you trying to be like that video game, that arcade game Rampage? And we're waiting on Rapid City's uniform reveal. That's the only 3 left. So far, every uniform I showed you, you said you loved, I think, except like 2.
Yeah, I forgot, but they all look pretty good when you sent them to me.
Yeah, but just since there's only 16 teams, so that means they're going to play 8 games a week. So opening day. Now, I don't know what Gray Television is, but I know them plus the NFL Network are the only 2 networks that are going to reveal all the games. But on opening night, the first nationally televised game, it's going to be the Orlando Predators at the Albany Firebirds. So 2 original 6 teams are going at it. 7 p.m. Eastern. If you can't catch the Voodoo, at least you can catch the Firebirds and the Predators. But I'm going to go with the Predators on this one.
Yeah, I'll go to Predators as well.
Like I said, Great Television. I'm trying to find it. I don't know if it's an app. I don't know if it's a channel. I'm trying to figure that out. That way, when they're on the road, I can try and watch them. But Minnesota, their home opener is sold out, I was told. But their first game of the season, they're on the road. They're against Nashville, the Nashville Cats.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I'll take Minnesota in that one. Voodoo opens up against the Philadelphia Soul, which back in the day, they used to be one of the best teams in the AFL. They've won quite a few championships. So I'm sticking with them, riding with the Voodoo, even if they don't sell out. I'm still waiting to see these uniforms. I heard they finally dropped the Saints wish colors. They're going back to originals. They're going to be black and purple and red. So I'm dying to see what they look like, because I saw the dance team's uniforms. They're called the Voodoo Dolls, which I feel like I feel like I'm saying Goo Goo Dolls, the band. Yeah. Their dance uniforms are black and purple and red. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be their colors, but I'm right. Let's go Voodoo.
Yeah.
By James Shiver. Good luck, coach. Don't let us down. The Eunice native, by the way.
Yeah. Yep.
He was a legendary coach at St. Ed. So I'm
Yep.
riding with the Voodoo. Don't give me a score. I just hope they beat them.
Yeah. Same here.
Then you got Wichita, the Regulators at the Billings Outlaws.
I'll go with the Outlaws. I don't fucking know anything about any of these teams. I'll just go with them.
Well, the fact that Billings is an actual team, they've been playing for years in other leagues. I'm gonna take them. Iowa, Rampage now, not the Barnstormers. They're at Rapid City Marshals. I think Rapid City is in not Michigan. I think it's in one of them upper. I think it's in Montana.
Mm-hmm. I go Rapid City.
I'm gonna go with the Marshals too. All right, Washington and Oregon. You got the Wolfpack versus the Black Bears. When I hear those two state names, I think of college football. I think of the Huskies and the Ducks. No, we're getting the Wolfpack and the Black Bears. Oregon got the best uniforms. Washington
they do.
They both got awesome logos, but I like Washington's colors, that emerald green with purple and white. So I'm gonna take the Wolfpack on the road against Oregon.
Yeah, same here.
Georgia Force taking on West Texas Desert Hawks. I heard Desert Hawks, whatever they used to be called, they have a strong fan base. They love their football in Texas, no matter if it's regular football, pigs, 6-man, or even arena. So I'm gonna take the Desert Hawks at home over the Force.
I'll go with the Force.
By the way, that's a Sunday game. They're gonna play 2 games on Sunday. That game, and then the last game we're gonna predict 2 of the 3 Kansas teams playing each other. Southwest Kansas Storm at the Salina Liberty.
I'll go Salina.
I'm going with the Liberty. Plus, though, that game and the Force Desert Hawks game will both be on the NFL Network.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
And the Salina Liberty got the best arena name ever, the Tony's Pizzas Event Center.
That sounds fantastic.
I love Tony's Pizza.
Yeah, same here.
I get that pepperoni, or I get that 3 meat.
Yeah.
Well, that will wrap up tonight's episode. Probably the next time I'm going to record, probably over the weekend, I'm going to recap the XFL, recap the UFL, recap the draft mainly. It's mainly what I'm going to focus on next week, whether if I go solo or if I find another guest. But I will keep you updated Saturday. I will send pictures. I will explain how everything goes, and hopefully this team can impress me. That I'm committing to go to every single home game. There is only 5 home games this season. Now that they're closer to you, maybe you can go to more than one game. I know you were trying to plan on going to the Liberty game in June, but now you can probably try the Preds next, or West Texas, or Georgia Force.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes.
Well, all right. Well, real quick before we go, let them know where they can find you on social media, plus the World League Podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find my personal account at @DylanAbear_ on Twitter. Instagram, I'm at DylanAbear. Of course, the World Elite Podcast airing live tomorrow on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter. You can find on Twitter at World Elite Pod. We're on YouTube, World Elite Podcast. On all the audio platforms, nostalgia pay-per-view reviews. We do other things. Yeah, I mean, we're on Facebook. Go give us a follow on there as well. Follow everywhere that we're on social media. How about that? That's the easiest way to put it. Go on every social media, World Elite Podcast. Give us a sub, a follow, a listen. It doesn't matter. Just go check us out.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at MarcusElite337. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to watch SAT Sports anytime on demand. Still counting down. I was hoping Freddie would have been back this week. I don't know when he'll be back, but when he comes back, band will be back together with SAT. But he's coming. Just give him time. He just had a kid. He's got family comes first. I totally get it. But thank y'all for tuning in. And, well, I'll see you and Jordan tomorrow night. Yep. Everybody else who tunes into this show, I'll see you guys, if not this coming sometime, maybe next Sunday or next Monday. I'll let you guys know. But till then, thank y'all. Have a good night.